Ron Harris here from MuscleDevelopment.com. Coverage of the Olympia weekend brought to you by High Tech Pharmaceuticals. Standing here with the real deal, Chris Cormier, no stranger to the Olympia stage. Competed in 10 Olympias, won 12 pro shows, was one of the greatest USA champions ever back in 1993. Runner-up at the Arnold 6 years in a row. I was like, maybe this year, maybe this year. Anyway, he's a living legend. Went on to become a great coach too. You actually have a guy in the show who's won this Classic Physique Olympia 2 years in a row, Breon Ansley. How did you guys start working together? I'm very curious.
Breon approached me online at the real deal Chris Cormier at gmail.com, and he approached me. Just wanted to do posing at first, and then when we did the posing, he was posing. I'm looking at him like, man, this kid can do something, right? And he goes, yeah. I mean, I was like, okay, come downstairs. Let me take a look at you. I want to show you a few exercises, because they had a few things I thought he should work on. And you can tell that only when someone is posing in front of you. And then you're like, okay. So we did a few exercises, and I was showing him some different things that he can do, and what manner in which to approach it in the rep style. And he loved it right away. And then he said, hey, he was getting ready for his first classic competition, and he was gonna go to Florida. So I said, okay, so when you come back from Florida, here's some few things you can do, and then you could make some change before you get to the competition. So he did those things, came back after he competed, and then we started working together, and it's the race of history. Then we got ready for other shows, and we've been working together ever since.
You know what's cool is, today it seems like it's all Instagram people, and these people have no real experience or credentials, but I've noticed you're in high demand all over the world. You do seminars everywhere. I've seen you in places like the Middle East, all over Europe, Asia.
Australia.
How did that all get going?
Just people recognizing what I can do, and if you keep making changes in people are going to keep sorting you out for their help. I have some people that I just known over the years, and they say, hey, I would like you to come. And Tony Doherty's a big friend, is one of my best friends I met in the sport. So he always bringing me over every year to Australia. And everyone knows what I did in the Middle East at Oxygen Gym with Beta Badai. And then I've always I wanted to go to the East Coast and actually show the East Coast boys how to do it. So I know you guys need me over there, so that's going to be a place I want to try to do something over there also.
Back in the day, there used to be a big East Coast, West Coast rivalry,
yes.
Not just with the rappers, but the bodybuilders.
Yes,
the East Coast guys always claimed that the West Coast guys didn't train hard. But I'm from Boston, but I lived out there 10 years, and I used to see you training with Flex and Rico, and there was some hard-ass training guys, and you guys weren't transplants from other places. You were native Californians.
Yes.
Did that always kind of make you laugh that they thought you didn't train hard in the West Coast?
Always, because they kind of did a thing with what was it, Muscle? What was that they had on television? I forgot what we were watching, but they had a thing where they were kind of like making like a little.
The show I worked on, American Muscle.
Yeah, American Muscle. Yeah. So they was kind of making like a kind of like stirring the pot with everybody, So, but it was fun though. It was fun, and we just had the magazines and stuff. No one was like in contact with people from the East Coast, but I know they always had a reputation for. There was the more blue collar people. We got the ocean breeze coming into Gold's Gym Venice, and, and we needed that. It was good, but I felt we had a different style on our side of town, our side of the country, and you guys had a different style. And every once in a while we'll clash and we'd compete and see who's the best. But it was always really fascinating and a lot of fun for a lot of us on both sides of the coin. It was a lot of fun.
So last question for you, Chris. We came up when there was just bodybuilding. If somebody said they competed, if they were a woman, it was women's bodybuilding. There was nothing else, just bodybuilding. Would you ever have imagined, back in the early 90s, that today, 2019, we would have 10 different divisions to choose from for every different shape and size person? Physique, women's physique, men's physique, classic physique, fitness, figure. If you could go back in time and show yourself this stuff, do you think it would have freaked you out to see all this?
Totally freaked me out. I mean, when I was going to shows, we all dressed the same. The guys, it was bodybuilding women, bodybuilding men. We all had the same outfits on. Everyone had a boat neck on with the tank top underneath.
Fanny pack.
the push down socks, the flaring pants. That came in. So I was even here when those style of pants just now started. And so they went way big, and then they came in way small. Now they're even smaller than that. And so yeah, it's been a great thing to see. Though it's awesome because there's a lot more money involved, a lot more everything. I still would like to see people with the most experience teaching the most people, but nowadays you get a lot of people that do 1 show, 2 shows, and they're teaching people right away, and then that's kind of what they do now,
Well, I mean, if they're smart, they seek out people like yourself that actually have decades of experience and know, you've forgotten more than some of these people now know, these newer coaches.
Yeah, I mean, some of the things that's just elementary to us that people just don't even realize it even exists. Yeah. Whether it's tanning, whether it's like you're not using distilled water anymore, like little stupid stuff like that, So.
It's been cool to see us old guys still able to make a living in this industry and adapt and change. And
it's like that everywhere. They got the, a woman 53 years old took 3rd in the world in the bodybuilding. Yeah. You got Dexter Jackson, might be the best in the world, and about to be 50 years old in November. Right. And you still got, even in football, even in most sports, even in tennis, you got the older guys with the old school mentality, schooling the younger ones, most of the time. So it's like that.
Yeah, it's good that that this new generation has a link to guys like you, so you can pass on a lot of that knowledge.
That's the thing I was saying. If we had Instagram, man, I would have been hitting up Lee Haney, like, hey, Lee, let's get together and let's train, I would have loved that.
Opportunity.
Oh, man, I would have loved that one.
Well, Chris, thanks for taking the time. Great to see you. Best of luck to Breon tomorrow, of course. And that's it.
For the damn win.
All right, so this has been Chris, the real deal Cormier, at the Olympia Expo. For Ron Harris, Muscular Development, thanks for watching.